So one of the things you can do at home to help keep healthy coat and skin is to rake your Scottie. This is an excellent tool. You can see I'm just lightly going over, and Fitz is a little long, but we're capturing undercoat. See the undercoat in there? It's all soft, fuzzy undercoat. So you rake, and it pulls out that undercoat, which is dead hair, which stimulates the skin and spreads the oils from the sebaceous gland onto the skin for healthy skin, and stimulates the hair follicle to grow more hair. Humans have 1 hair in their hair follicle. Scotties tend to have 10, 12, 14, depending on the breed. And the chart that's with this video will explain to you the guard hairs and the undercoat. So we're getting out undercoat. Fitz is hand stripped, and that's why you're seeing a lot of texture. And if you have a pet clip, you want to consider letting that pet clip grow out. Salon groomers tend to go very short, very, very short, and all it does is cut the hair off. It doesn't pull the dead hair out, which is what this rake is going to do. When you pull that dead hair out, you start getting texture, and you get more hair, and you get that healthy skin that I talked about. It's important to let that really short pet hair clip that you might call a summer clip grow out a little bit so you can do this. Like maybe the next grooming session, skip the jacket, do everything else but the jacket. And you want to keep a little longer jacket because you want those long guard hairs. See those long guard hairs up here? And then there's undercoat underneath. You want those guard hairs to lay over so it traps the air like the chart says and keeps, now that's an exaggeration, but it keeps the warm air in the winter to keep them warmer, and it keeps them cooler in the summer because it traps the cool air. That Fitz is long. Your pets will not be this long. You can create the same concept. The rake will make the hair lay flat over time. It may take 6 months to a year. It may not. Every dog is different. Keep in mind that if this is the direction you would like to go, I have very successfully taken short salon clipped Scotties and developed a beautiful jacket. Raking does keep them very nice, very shiny, and over time you will have a much more beautiful Scottie. So you can also do the furnishings. You just pick up their leg and you rake the furnishings and just go through like that. Just rake the furnishings, same concept. Gets rid of all that dead hair. Look at all this undercoat dead hair that we pulled out just in this session. This is the tool I use. It is Andis brand, and it is called a deshedding tool if you order it. It is commonly referred to as a rake. Other brands will cut hair. This brand, Andis, does not cut hair, which is really important. You want it to pull the hair out, not cut it, not break it. All right, so you can see that we have a nice jacket that lays flat. One of the reasons you don't want very short clippering is because when it's really short, the UV rays from the sun are going to get in there. And over time, that's going to lead to, with age, cancers. It also dries out the skin if it's short because it's not protecting itself. So my recommendation is to talk to your groomer and use a little longer of a clipping blade, such as a 7, preferably a 5, or if they use combs, something equivalent to those sizes. That way, over time, you will develop a nicer jacket that is more protective of the sun's UV rays and keeps the skin from drying out. Short jackets that are like velvet are not healthy for the skin. They can clog pores and they create skin problems and itchy hot spots. This is a grooming job in process, so I haven't cleaned up the backup light or done anything back here yet, but we're just going to look at the tail. This is Fitz's gorgeous carrot tail. He does have a kink, so we groom it accordingly. One side stays a little thicker and one side stays a little tighter. So even on pets, I use some type of a little pumice stone and a finger cot. And on the top, I just pull out dead hair, just like you're seeing. This is part of the hand stripping process, but I do it on pets. Simply because on my pets, it gets rid of all that curly hair and their hair lays more straight. And we don't want curly tails. And we just pull it on the top all the way to the end. You can pull some of those end hairs too. And then what I do, I will go straight up the back with either my straight scissors or a thinning shear or a number 7 blade, just straight up the back. Just like that. Then to do the sides, I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to separate it out like this. And I'm just going to trim. See how I'm turning it a little bit? And you just trim the side with your thinning shears. Okay, and then you do the other side. Just pull the hair out. And I kind of bend it over, follow that natural curve, and I am protecting that spot right there because that's where his kink is. And I go straight up. You're going to do the tip. I always put my thumbnail over the tip so I don't cut it. You don't want to cut that off. And you want to leave a nice little tip. And just a little bit of more work and you have a beautiful carrot. I have brushed all the hair, and you want to get rid of this hair between the pads because you want as much pad exposure as you can because that's how they sweat. Pulling the legs straight back and up. Okay, so I brushed all the hair. You want to eliminate all the hair between the pads. You want as much exposure of the pads as you can because that's how they sweat. And if you're doing in-home grooming, you can just very flat take your scissors and cut that hair off. If you need to, if it's matted in there, just pull it out and cut it off. Okay, what I normally do is I use a peanut. This is a 30 blade. Any kind of 30 blade works. Okay, this is how you do it. The 30 blade will not cut. All right, so now we want to trim the hair around the pad. I pull it all up like this. And then you can either take curved scissors if you have them and cut. You want to cut flush with the pad. Or you can take thinning shears and cut with the thinning shears. And you're going to cut flush with the pad. Because if you do that, then you have the proper length, and it needs a little bit more, but you have the proper length for the ground. If you need to, you can come in and just get them on the table and trim around the bottom. I always tap on their foot before I pick it up to let them know, and you pull it straight back, and you do the same thing. For this foot over here, I reach under and pull it straight back because I'm right-handed. Okay, we're going to clipper the neck. We make a W. There's the chest bone. You want to leave this about a thumb, tip of your thumb up from your chest bone. you want to make a W. On my pets, I go way down, like so. And then you've got a calic here, and a calic on this side. So I just kind of go in front of the calic, and I go down. Okay. And then I will go up if I want it short. Show dogs use a 10. I use an 8.5 on pets. Look at that beard. We'll fix that beard. We'll fix those eyebrows. Okay. So clippering. Here's your line. The middle of the ear to the corner of the eye. And then down like so. You don't want to cut all that off. You want to go underneath it. I'll show you. I start here and I go down and I go up. And I go from the corner right here and go, see how I'm going under that hair? I'm not cutting it off. I'm going under it. And then I go down. And if you hold the head up, you're going to go like this. And I just happen to know how far to go. See how I'm not cutting the beard? There's a mole right here, and there's a mole under there. You can use those as guidelines, but it just depends on each dog. And I'm going to thinning shear all of this. And I'm not going to get the detail right now because I just want to show you the concept. I'm going to lift this up, and then I'm going to just trim some of this. Just trim underneath. Okay, comb the beard straight, and then you want to cut it at an angle with your thinning shears. In other words, you do not want a square here. You want an angle. See how I'm going underneath? All right, that gives the perception that the beard is going forward, even though I'm combing it straight down. Even on my pets, I like to leave a little tip. You don't need a heavy eyebrow on a pet. You're going to go from this corner, and you're going to go from the ear, right here, to the nose. And you're going to comb the eyebrow like this, and you're going to cut the eyebrow. This doesn't need much cutting. See that angle? Like this. You do not cut like this. You cut like this. And see how I'm just tapering it off on the end. And then you're going to go flat right here up against the head. On the top of his head, and I use an 8.5 for the neck and the head, I'm going to go straight off the back. Straight off. I am not going to curve. Straight off the back. And see how I lift up. Same here. I just go down the side and I lift up. I don't want to get all that hair. And I'm going to go straight down. And right there. So I'm lifting up. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to pull everything forward. Put your eyebrows aside. And we want to clean this up. Okay, so I'm going to come in from this side because I'm right-handed, and I'm just going to go like this. And the reason I come from this side is because I can grab more hair initially. Then I'm going to look from the front, and we're going to just kind of clean it up a little bit. You want that to be straight. Clipper that. Or fix that. You want to fix this right here, coming from here to here. If you have to, lift it. Okay, this side is a little harder, and I usually will come from this side. Okay, you want to clean that right there so it gives it a deeper eye. So I'll get all that cleaned up. I'm using a 15. You do not want to create a well And you're going to go straight up. See how I'm holding the ear? And just kind of blend that. Do not dig in there. See how I'm moving it? Use your fingers to support the ear leather. Okay, now we're going to do the front side. Okay. Lightly, I'm going to go like this. In the middle of the ear. And then I'm going to fold this back halfway and go straight up. I don't scissor my pet ears. I use a 30. You can use a 15. And see how I'm putting pressure on the ear leather with my thumb so that I can catch the hair on the edges or my forefinger. See how that comes off? And I can get a nice straight edge without fear of scissoring. The same here. And you have a shorter ear. If you use a 30, it's cleaner. Okay, put your fingers behind the ears so you can see the ears. I'm looking at the tuft size. I'm looking at how much hair is in here. So we are going to create an ear right here. They say an ear within an ear or a Christmas tree. To do that, I'm going to fold his ear back, pull this hair up. We don't want to cut it out. We just want to cut it like so. Okay, and we're going to go straight up to my mark right there. Pull that back, just kind of clean that up a little bit. So you see how I've made this? Okay. Remember, you don't want to keep any hair out here. I should have got it all with the clipper. We don't want flowers and hair hanging out here. I want that nice and clean. Okay. To do the side, to do the tuft, everybody does all of this different. This is how I do my tuft. I go like this, straighten it all up. And I go from my cut point right there, and I just kind of angle it like that. And I will go over this with some thinning shears so it's not such a straight line. And then I will look and see what I have. And then I will clean up any extra hair. On the back side, you want to do that same thing. You want to create that little side of the Christmas tree. Okay, let's look and see what we have. That's a good start. I just need to do some detail work. I got some extra hair right there, but there you have it. I like my tufts like this. This one is done. This one has not been done as far as the ear tuft. You can fold the ear back and just blend this up. You want to be careful. There's a bald spot right there. Every Scottie has one. It's hiding. It's in there. So you just blend. The ears are all about angles and blending. Okay, so we're pretty much finished with Fitz's Groom. Just using a finishing brush to distribute the oils. Now remember, this is a strip jacket. So bathing, I'm going to bathe his beard because his beard is a little out of control. And we're going to blow dry it and get it nice and straight. He's got a birthday party to attend tomorrow. And so I will bathe his furnishings. Even on a pet, I will bathe furnishings and beard. I will not bathe the jacket. If you brush it and you rake it, you will have a healthy skin, healthy jacket, and you won't need to bathe it. Bathing can dry it out. It can make it curly, and we want it to be nice and smooth. So brush it and comb it.
Can make it frizzy too, can it?
It can make it frizzy, exactly. So it doesn't get dirty. This is what gets dirty, all this and the beard. I don't even bathe the top of the head. brushing it and combing up here. Mostly brushing. I'm using a finishing brush. You can use a boar's hair brush. You can use a pin brush, whatever is comfortable for you, as long as you brush it.